Hello everybody, welcome back, welcome to Gaming News, welcome to the podcast. This is day one of the week, Monday. Move everything, there we go, everything's looking good. Monday, let's get caught up on what happened last week, let's get caught up on what's going on next week. We got the first of the month happening in July, so I want to crack into what we got when it comes to new games and stuff like that. So we're going to be covering a bunch of stuff today in the podcast, but this first story, I don't know if you've heard of this. WoW used to be the top dog, but isn't the top dog anymore. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Square Enix has snuck in and said, hey, we want a piece of the action. Currently, Final Fantasy XIV Online, actually, when it comes to MMORPGs, has more players. That's crazy. I never thought that WoW could be taken off of the throne like that, but it has. Yeah, Final Fantasy XIV has now taken the top spot when it comes to MMORPGs. Massive multiplayer online RPGs, role-playing games. And, well, that's a game I've never played. I have a buddy. His name's Alan. He's an incredible artist. Incredible, absolutely rad artist. And he was telling me we were getting down on some Mario Golf, released last week. Getting down on some Mario Golf, and we were talking about stuff in the gaming world, and he's like, did you know that Final Fantasy XIV has taken the first place spot when it comes to MMORPGs? Or not first place spot, but it has beaten out World of Warcraft. I'm still not 100% sure if World of Warcraft is number one. Didn't look too far into it. I just wanted to know between the two, and it looks like it's true. So good on you, Alan. You're right. Final Fantasy XIV has taken it, and Final Fantasy XIV got just a little bit of coverage at E3. And by a little bit, I mean they showed some like snippets of stuff we already had. So it's barely anything. E3, a whispering in the ear of things we already knew. Okay, we can't get too hell bound. We can't go back. Okay, let's talk about E3 for a second. E3 did release some stuff, but I mean, I met a lot of you at E3. I'm at a loss for words because there's so much opportunity there. There was just so much, and we got a lot of what we knew already. But Sony, show up, man. Just show up. I don't want this to be a full episode on Sony, but man, we're gonna go on a little rant here. I bought your PlayStation 5. I got it. I said, hey, I need to have it. I want to talk about it. Let's get it. I got your PlayStation 5. I got it. I got a couple games for it. I got Ratchet & Clank. I got Final Fantasy VII Integrated. I even got Returnal. I got some exclusives. Some little exclusive babies. And guess what? Is that all you got? Sony. Real quick. Come in close. Don't want to say it too loud. Is that all you got? Here's the deal, dudes. We need more games. This thing's $500. No one can get their hands on one. And in fact, remember when I talked about how PlayStation 5 should be a little bit easier to find and a little bit easier to get? I was wrong. Turns out, it's actually getting more hard to get a PlayStation 5. But have no fear, because guess what? There's nothing for it. It's actually quite frustrating for me because I really like it. I think it's insanely awesome. I love the way it feels. But I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now. I'm waiting for some games. And if you got yourself a PlayStation 4, like, you're fine. You're fine. You're cruising. So it's a little rant, but I just want to wait. I'm waiting for Sony to show up and be like, hey guys, this is what's going on. This is what the PlayStation 5 is all about. What, you got a little bit of rumble in your controller? Cool. You know who else got cool rumbles in their controllers? Nintendo. And their controllers are about the size of one of your handles. They also don't get dirty so quick. Oh, you guys got some really, really awesome colors? Cool. I want games. You want games. We all want games. Hit a like if you want games. We all want games. That's why we buy something. I think that games should lead the purchase. That's what we should be thinking about when we're purchasing systems. Games should lead the purchase. You want to get some exclusives. You want to get some fun with a gaming system that only has specific games, also known as exclusives, also known as exclusives. Then you got to get yourself the system that has them. And historically have liked PlayStation's exclusives, but we don't got none. The PS5 being a powerful machine, it's kind of left me wanting. So, at any rate, back to, I don't even know. We were at Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14. Well, here we go. Final Fantasy 14. There you go. There's your fun on. It's not even. You know what? No, that's not an exclusive. You can get that on the PC. My buddy was telling me about it. I think you can even get it on Xbox. Okay, let's find out because FF14 Xbox. You can get it on PC though. So Final Fantasy 14 is available on Xbox. Boom. Not even an exclusive. Great. Awesome. We all know how we feel about Xboxes on this channel, guys. I will go as far to say is that when it comes to value, dude, that thing has got it. I mean, Microsoft, hey, here's the deal. I don't even need to have a big cut. I don't even need you to pay me. I don't want you. Just give me a little slice. A little slice, because we be dishing out Series S's here. Everyone's all about the Series S. Microsoft, just give me like a buck a system. I'm cool with that. No, don't do that. Actually, I'll take like 2%. That'd be nice. 2% of sales. All right, let's get on. We got more stories to cover. I don't want to waste too much time. I'm already off track. We've just gotten through maybe one story, and there's more to look at. Let's just pick a random one here. We're gonna pick this. What's this one? What did I pick on Game Informer? What am I looking at right here? What am I looking at? I'm looking at Epic GoldenEye. Oh, this is sad, man. This is real sad. I mean, who here? Who here? I wish this was live. We're talking about GoldenEye, the game that came out originally on Nintendo 64, and I would go as far to say one of the greatest, if not the greatest, party games of all time. Mario Party has party in the name. It was great. It was fun, whatever. But GoldenEye, 007 GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, 4-player, first-person shooter, slappers only, grenade, whatever you want to do. The RCP-90. We know these terms. We know we recognize the game. We had fun with the game. This is one of the best games. Some people say Perfect Dark is. I would say no. I preferred GoldenEye. It doesn't matter. GoldenEye 007. Turns out, I didn't know this. I wasn't surprised. I don't think I knew it. I wasn't, let me rephrase that. I knew this. I wasn't following it. But here's the sad news. Epic GoldenEye 007 recreation using, let me start that again. Can't read, just so you guys know. Not recreation. What am I talking about? Recreation. But that was spelt recreation. Was there? Whatever. Epic GoldenEye 007 recreation using Far Cry 5 map editor officially taken down by Ubisoft and MGM. Why? I don't understand. There's a fan recreation of the N64 classic GoldenEye 007 using Far Cry 5's map editor. I'm reading parts of this. This is you can find this on Game Informer. They removed parts of they had the map and map editor with news that map editor would not be present in Far Cry 6. The people were really into it. So we have this looks like a tweet. A tweet from the person who did this. And this is what the tweet says. It says, statement from me. Ubisoft sent me a mail because they got one from MGM. I think the reason is that this project becomes more popular after 3 years now and because of IGN, Kotaku, etc. Made an article. Many people know about it now. Yes. What can I say? It's really sad that my work isn't deleted because I saved the levels on my PS4/5 on PS Plus Cloud and a USB stick. I don't know if there'll ever be a legal way for me to upload them again because I'm on their radar now, I think. That's crazy. That's really unfortunate. Removal of it's sad. It does, but people are like, well, this was expected. I mean, you're recreating something that has some extremely huge IPs being intellectual properties. And, you're getting in there, you're trying to recreate something that very much so existed. I mean, the franchise itself was so big. But hey, here's the deal. I mean, unless there's one I don't know about, we don't have a GoldenEye. So it's living inside of an engine. I mean, from my understanding, it's looking like this was just fan-created fun. and we're removing it. Ah, man. You know, I feel like we take like 2 or 3 steps forward in the gaming industry. We start to see companies really, really reaching out and doing things for the fans, and then we just take 1 step back. And this is one of those moments where I'm just like, come on. It's just like this person's trying to make something. Maybe it's like a tribute, a homage, whatever, and it's crazy. This person's really trying hard, and it's crazy. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm just finishing up the article, and it's fan projects that have to do with GoldenEye. Yeah. It's just, that's all it is. It's just a fan project. MGM, dude. What am I going to say? We just cracked 3,000 subs. No, MGM's not listening to me, but come on. Just MGM, if you take a peek, just come on. You got money. You're not doing anything with this franchise. Give it to the fans. I mean, I remember when I heard that Sonic Mania was a fan-created game. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sonic Mania. It was released. It was like a newer. It was a retro-style Sonic game. Felt very, very similar to the OG Sonic games. And in fact, it looked almost exactly like it. It looked beautiful. It was so rad. But Sonic Mania was actually created by fans. So they reached out and they said, hey, you guys make some good games. I don't know the exact names of the people that did it. I just know that the story goes as follows. They reached out and said, hey, you guys are making some cool recreations. What about hopping into this project and actually helping us make a Sonic game? And that's where it's at, right? That's the community saying, hey, we want to move this forward. Because honestly, when it comes to the gaming community, big companies, they're making the plays because they got the money. But indies, baby, I just feel like the indies are going to really come back and they're going to do something crazy. I feel like the indie games are starting to really make some huge hits and making some really cool things. And huge mad support for any creator who's like, I'm going to take this on. Because these big companies with the budgets and everything, sure, they can push out these AAA titles because they got the money. But I tell you, you got a good story and you can make something happen, man. Enough passion behind it with Kickstarter and all these different things. I just want to see these creators who are truly gamers. They are the people playing the games. The best things come from the people who are making them for themselves and the community. It's so great to see Sonic Mania happen in that whole thing. That was, almost 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was like 3. I don't know. It was a time ago, and now we got something like this, and it's just like, God, man, we were moving forward. We were doing it. We were seeing bigger companies work with small people, but then they just got to come in and flex. Just look like, I don't usually say stuff like this, but that's garbage, man. That's garbage. Leave them alone. Give us that GoldenEye back. We want it. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. You think that was warranted? Let's talk about some big companies, shall we? EA confirms that Battlefield 2042, in order to fill those 128-person lobbies, will be throwing some bots in there. Bots are not uncommon to some of these big, massive games, though. It doesn't surprise me. We're going to get some bots. I mean, this game's huge. I don't know if you guys watched any of the releases on it, but basically, they're going to be taking these maps that used to run 64 people, and it's going to be 128 people. That's insane. 128 people. That's so many. And they're going to take this 128-person map. They're going to throw a bunch of people in there. I mean, not only is the map that many people, but we also got modular. The buildings can be blown apart. We got different weather things happening, destroying whether it's roads or sandstorm, what have you. And they're going to be filming it. That's crazy. You can change it, actually. It looks like you can actually go from 64, it goes, main event allows up to 64 AI soldiers to help fill the game. Wow. Humans will take priority. But there's modes that allow you to just be on humans, but there's also modes that allow AI. I mean, I was playing Star Wars Battlefront, and there's games with AI. Just 4 of you, and then you're going against AI. So I mean, when you got a game that big, I guess you got to fill it with some bots. Some people like bots, some people don't. Now, the thing that's kind of weird is like you got bots, and then that I guess that helps you. I mean, I used it in Battlefront. You can use the bots and the ease when it comes to them to take them out, and you just level up your weapons a little bit quicker. So, I mean, that is the advantage to using bots. But I don't know, when you're playing a massive online multiplayer game like that, I feel like the impressiveness is that they're getting that many like live players to play on a level that big, but you throwing bots in there, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, maybe it's just a 64 person game, but they're throwing 64 bots in. I mean, it doesn't look like that's exactly what's happening, but like still, you start to see some of the colors come through, right? They're like, yeah, we got 128 players. You could do 128 players. We got 128, it's double the amount, 128 people playing. And then you look at the definition of small print. It's like, well, 64 of them are real, just like before, but the other 64 are bots. Yeah, we got bots. We got bots. Although it does, saying it's prioritizing humans, but, All right, before we get to the big thing here, we got ourselves a release last week. I don't know if you guys saw it. The big release. The biggie. Windows 11 had a press conference. Kind of. It was more of a presentation. Covered it. So there's a little right above my name, or right over here. You're going to see, or right over here. Who knows what side it's on? I'm looking at this in reverse. You're going to see the little tag. We had a little recap, but Windows 11 is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty clean. No new, big, huge, crazy changes as far as services or the way they're doing things. They're adding some features that are nice. It looks like they're cleaning up the UI a little bit, making it just a little more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know whether it was or wasn't aesthetically pleasing before. But I've been doing a little bit of research on this, and it looks like when it comes to releases from Microsoft and OSs, they haven't had a good track record hitting 2 major OS updates back to back. It looks like it's been like a this or that kind of stitch. Like we got ourselves like the first one I was looking, but it was like before this was, I think, Windows 7, which was apparently garbage, and then Vista was okay. Something like that. Like every other has been total trash. So they have an opportunity to hit 2 out of the park. It looks like they're playing this a little bit safer, though. And they're changing up some of the way that the UI looks. It looks similar, honestly. I'm just going to call it what it is because I have been my whole life Mac OS. But it looks very similar to Mac OS. It's smooth around the corners. We got ourselves floating windows. The background, even the stock background, is pretty like Mac OS feeling. They moved the taskbar over to the center, which we're familiar with. That's what we got going on Mac OS. It's right there. Your dock is right there in the center. You can move it side to side. You can move it around. You can hide it, whatever. But it's right there in the center. So it's feeling a little more uniform. And I'm not against it. Some people may be or may not. I don't know. I'm not against it for one very specific reason. It's going to be an easier transition for me because it looks like I'm finally got the urge to switch. Because I'm feeling enough's enough, I like that they flexed hard on the fact that they allow for you to decide what kind of hardware you want to use, and they'll just give you the software. I mean, give you it. You have to buy it, of course. But they're just the software will be allowed on those machines. And, you got an Apple on the back of your machine. You're only running one OS. I know you can partition and you can do that, but it's clunky, man. Some people say it runs better. I've not really been able to get that, but yeah, Windows 11's got some new features when it comes to productivity. Really like that you're going to be able to, you're going to have to go through the Amazon store. It's a little bit around, you're downloading an app and you're installing through an app and it's kind of backdoor. I would just say watch my update on it. But you can basically install Android apps on your device, which is kind of cool. As a creator, I would love to be able to post my stuff directly from where I edit it, right? I edit everything on my computer to my account. I make an Instagram thing, or I make something I don't use TikTok, but if I was to use TikTok, got the vertical format. Hey, I'm editing it. I threw that into an editor. I put text on it. I'm not doing in-app editing. I know it's overkill, but hey, unfortunately, when you're a creator, you just kind of feel like you have to do stuff like that. And it's nice that I wouldn't have to drop it to my phone and then from my phone put it onto the app and get in there and fix everything about and deal with compression from the transfer over if it doesn't fully transfer the full res file. You know, you just go straight from the computer and just let it go onto the app. Let the compression happen once. That feels pretty nice. I'm into that. Aside, they also changed the way that, you know, different windows might interact or something like that. You got yourself an external display, you unplug it, and just a bunch of cool stuff like that. But we're not talking like this crazy groundbreaking, everything's different. They're integrating some new things. You know, they're bringing teams to the actual OS to be integrated in there. You're going to get yourself a better experience, I guess, with Xbox Game Pass being a part of the OS as well, and you got yourself, you know, some more support when it comes to the Windows Store or the Microsoft Store, whatever they call that in-app store. They are making changes for their developers, which is kind of cool. If you have an in-game or an in-app purchase that's being made, if that e-commerce is already available, if the developers bring in their own e-commerce to the table, not relying on the Microsoft Store to aid in the e-commerce, like Fortnite, for instance, using that on purpose. Any transactions that happen through that, guess what? Developer gets to keep 100%. That's pretty cool. It's cool to see them playing with someone else, because some of these big companies don't play well, and it's starting not to look good. Your stronghold is when you give the people choices, it drives competition, and that competition gives us better things. So I say double high fives to Windows, double high fives to Microsoft for saying, hey, developers, we're putting all the power back in your hands. You want to make something? Great. Throw it in our store. We'll do it. You want to sell something through that? Awesome. We'll allow it to happen. They're also saying, they just made a blanket statement that the security is going to be better than ever. Let's hope. Let's hope. If you're not subscribed, before we get into it, if you're not subscribed and you want gaming news, reviews, and all that stuff in between, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video and you haven't already hit the like button, hit that like button. It helps me. And by helping me, what happens is more people subscribe, more views, stuff like that. I get a little bit more cash. And with that cash, guess what I do? I go and buy stuff to talk to you guys about. Because none of my cash actually sees my pocket. It goes straight back into purchasing stuff like controllers and games to talk about. And cases. And you guys are like, hey, what about this computer? And guess what? I'm too small to ask the company. So I have to go out and get it. So anyway, that's really helpful. It helps me a lot. It helps a great amount and gets my videos in front of other people's eyes, and it's great. And this community grows, and I'll be able to get more stuff for you guys to talk about. And whatever you guys want me to go over, if I can get it and it makes sense, I can get it and I can talk about it. So that's good. Now let's get into what you guys are here for, right? July 2021. That's in like 2 days, right? Today's Monday, so tomorrow Tuesday, which means Wednesday, is the last day. So Thursday is July. And what do we got? We got first. I'm reading this list right here. This is the some of the biggies, right? I can go through here. I'm reading this from now. Of course, there's probably a plethora of indies that are dropping too, but these are some of the bigger ones. I'm reading this from Games Radar. I looked at a few lists. This one seemed to be the more comprehensive list that I was into. So here we go. Starting at the top, we got Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Nights, PS5, PS4, July 6th. Watch Dogs Legion, Bloodline, DLC. We got it's coming to PS5, PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One. Now it says XSX. That does also include the Series S. July 6th, we got ourselves Fallout 76, Steel Rain Update, PC, PS4, and Xbox. That's coming out July 7th. Black Skylands, PC only, July 9th. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. That's coming to PC and Switch. Interesting. July 9th. Curved Space, July 13th. That's on the Switch. Where the Heart Leads, PS5 and PS4, July 13th. F1 2021. That's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox, July 16th. Okay. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I'm into this. July 16th. I'm into this. I've never played Skyward Sword, so it's going to be fun. Lots of controversy. So I'm really excited to get into Skyward Sword. And the controversy is all about that paywall with that amiibo, which I covered and said, calm down. The game's still there. You just can't super warp. And I'm sure someone's going to make a freaking little card chip that you can go online and buy for $4.99, and there, you got your little amiibo. Unless you're an amiibo collector, then I get it, but I don't feel like that's what a lot of the complaints are. A lot of the complaints are just there to complain. Why is that a thing, by the way? Why is complaining about a company and like completely berating it and saying that they're the worst ever for doing this and just like they're awful. Why is that like the way that people relate? It's kind of weird. Yeah, I talked about how I was upset with Sony, but that's just 'cause I want more games from Sony. I just do. They're not terrible. Just give me some more games, Sony. I want more games. Akaba's Trip, Hellbound, and Debriefed. PS4 and Switch, July 23rd. Orcs Must Die 3, PC, PS4, Xbox One, July 23rd. So it looks like when it says PS4, Xbox One, it's going to also be available on next gen, but it goes all the way back to there. Ooh, we got ourselves a Series X exclusive. I don't know if this is Series X exclusive, actually. I think this might be available on PC. I'm not sure. It looks like it. It says Xbox Series X. Maybe it's already available on PC, but now it's coming to Xbox Series X. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. Microsoft Flight Simulator, July 27th. Pretty cool. Neo, The World Ends With You, PS4, Switch, July 27th. Tribes of Midgard. This game I am so excited for, and I was really scared it was only going to the PC, but it's not. We're going to see it on PS5 and PS4 as well. Guess what? I already got the pre-order on that. July 27th, Unbound, Worlds Apart. This also looks super, super sick. I thought this was only going to PC, but it's not. It's also going to Switch. It's coming out July 28th. The Ascent, PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. And finally, Eldest Souls, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox and PS4, Xbox, all of them. They're all, except for Stadia and whatever. Last Stop, Little Devil Inside, Tour de France 2021. All coming in July, but TBC. And just something out, way out there. Something just to know about happening in August. Hades, coming to the Xbox, already available on PC as well as the, what is it? PC and Switch. And then we got ourselves, there's another one coming out in August. Another one. What is it? So it's the Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's what it is. So stoked for that. That's PC, PS4, PS5. Big stuff. And that's what we got looking forward to at the end of this. We got July and a couple things coming out in August. Of course, being the end of the month, we are going to talk about those games coming out. So that's what's happening. And then by the end of next month, we'll go over everything that's coming out in August. And gaming stuff happening. So thank you for listening to the podcast. It will eventually at some point be hosted so that you can listen to it as a podcast. But as of now, it just lives here on the channel on YouTube. And that's all I got for you guys today, this Monday, this beginning of the week. That's what happened last week in gaming. And last but certainly not least, happy gaming.